So, I mean, a lady posted on her page about parenting, stating that however your child turns out does not mean that you did not do anything, that you did anything special, and that you are just lucky and blessed as a parent. Now, is this true? Does it mean that all the hard work you put into training your children does not matter? Are parents truly responsible for whatever a child becomes in future? What roles does a parent have to play in shaping their children? So this, I want us to link it up to this, because we're talking about role modeling, and I wanted us to link it up to this pastor's issue. Let's not move away from this issue, where somebody who possibly married somebody who is like him, right, now is saying that I want you to be like this. Now, this is somebody a young woman whose husband, who is exposed to something else, is now being forced to become who she's not, just because she wants to keep her husband. You know, these are the issues I have. That's on one end. Now, how do we raise a child to be godly, Christian, but yet sexy? That's another one I want to
box.
That's another box.
There's another box of you raise your child godly. You did everything right. Then the next thing, they showed you a picture of your child. You know, some parents that are on social media, the first day they see their picture of their child that they sent to school on Instagram, they are shocked. They're like wondering, where did this come from? I didn't buy you these clothes. I didn't dress like this. Why are you looking like this online? This is not the girl I raised. Yeah. This is not the child I spent years raising.
I know somebody whose mother is a Deeper Life member. And he recently came out, you know, that he lives in America. I mean, he just came out. Yeah. I mean, those of us that know him. We have said that before. So, but he now came out, and the mother is just quiet. Because she'll be thinking,
where did this come from?
Who did you know? So you do everything. That's what this person is saying. You do everything within the books. She goes to Monday service with you, Tuesday service with you, Friday service. You go to camp first Friday. You do the deliverance service, everything. But yet the child still goes the way the child. So you can't blame yourself that you not do your part as a parent.
It goes back to a child is not a child. So everybody has their own independent way of thinking. Yes. No matter what you teach or when they are going to go their way, they are going their way. There's nothing you can do. And she's a human being on his own. Yeah. But I want to read this tweet from Andrew StarTimes. He says...
Not a tweet tube.
A tube, sorry. Good morning, Yenny. Please tell Miriam, Tokwe, and Muriel to read the songs of Solomon in the Bible.
You will see
and report back to us tomorrow.
Yes.
I know, I've read it.
There's a lot of sexiness there. But you see, Tokwe, I want us to really...
But this parenting thing, let me say that of course, there is a part of grace that, oh, God just made this thing happen for you in terms of parenting. You can do your best. There are many influences around the child. But I believe strongly that the child learns more from what you do. There are many things my parents probably said that I did not do. But there are many things I do now, and it is what my mom did. It was the way my dad behaved. I am doing what they did. In terms of my investment, in terms of closing my eyes, I'm learned from their mistakes. I'm modeling, they've modeled it for me. So it's not them telling me, do this, do this, do this. It is me seeing what they did. And I think many times parents expect that is what they say that the children will do. They see the hypocrisy of what you're saying. They see you saying respect, but you're not respecting people around you. So when your child disrespects, it's not because they are disobeying you, that you did not train them well. You trained them well, but you were not doing what you're telling them to do. So they will do what you are doing. If you steal or you're cutting corners, your children will do it. So, but the case of outside influence, the case of strong outside influence is also very there. So they've seen their parents and they see somebody else they prefer. They admire that is more successful, and they say, Mommy, Daddy, you have said this to me, but your life is not, I don't want your life. I want this life. So regardless of what you do, they are going for that life. That's why I advise parents to be successful. Advise parents to go for success.
Advice? No, let's dissect what you just said. So I am Mommy in Israel. I'm the minister in charge of this thing, and I am doing my best. I'm working hard. I'm a worker. I'm comfortable. My children are okay. Maybe they go to a private university, and they're okay. To you, you're fine. You raise this godly young woman or your godly young man, and they are seeing another person who is probably not a church person, but they seem to be having multiple cars, and they have this lovely lifestyle, and the child is more this family member is not as godly as my own parents. Yes, they are living in Banana Island. They have this, they have that. Is this the right thing? So is now how do you raise a child in that world to understand and appreciate the values you have raised them with, the work, the hard work you have put in to give them what they have today, and not be looking at, Lagwaja is better.
You know what? One thing with being a child is that there are different stages. So, and I feel that it happens to all of us. You start off just loving your parents and just being, and just wanting to be them. In fact, everything. And then you meet other people, and then you have outside influences. And then you're thinking, I don't want anything many people have said, I don't want to be like my mom in any way. And then you get to a point, you get married, start having your children, and then you have this new appreciation for your mother and recognize that the sacrifices she's made, and you now, respect her even better. And then you start to raise your children just as she has raised you. So there's that process. But when we're talking about how, when you raise your child and in the end it's about luck, I think that, as Tokwe said, that there's that grace. But also, I think in raising our children, many parents, especially parents from older parents, never put into play mental health issues. So you raise your children the same. You have 5 children. 4 turn out well, just the way that you raised them. But one just turns out just outside what you have raised them to be. And you're wondering, what did I do wrong with this child? Apart from every child having a different personality, the truth is that mental illness shows in different ways. People are now having that conversation. They're now having their children go to therapy, and they're saying that some people are just clinically that way. There's something in their brain that makes them see things differently, and so they'll react differently. Then there's something also that I have noticed, which is called, they said, oppositional defiant disorder, which is a child, is just that particular child that no matter what it is that you represent as an adult, as an authority for me, I will oppose this. I'll be defiant against it. I'll be stubborn to it. So you have children that because even the fact that you're just Christian, I'm going to be the opposite of what you want. And it's not your fault. That's just the child's nature. And you just hope that whatever it is that while you're raising that child, something would stick.
Right.
Sorry, Miriam, I just wanted to break holes in what Tokwe said. She said, I advise parents to be successful.
Yeah, it's all
there is what advice can, if you're a hard worker, I think what you should say is, I advise parents to work hard, not to be successful. Because what is success? Success is relative. Do I want a hush puppy success? Because hush puppy, to some people, was successful.
Yes.
But he was a criminal.
We don't want that kind of
Well, allegedly.
Yes. No, not allegedly.
No, they haven't found him guilty yet. Now. He hasn't been convicted. So, but apparently a Yahoo person. So there is success is relative. If you are going to advise your child, please, your parents, it's not success at any cost. Please
work hard.
Work hard. No matter if you don't have to be a millionaire.
Let me give you
a successful.
Let me give you a real life
call. Hold it for a while. Good morning. Are you there? Hello. Hello. Are you there?
Hello. Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Elizabeth. I just wanted to just add something to what Gage was saying.
Yes.
I'm a perfect example of the scenario that Mariah gave. You had a just kind of mother to go for all the services all through the weekend. But growing up, I never wanted to be like my mom. Even though we had the don't do this, don't do that. I went to a private university. I had everything. But my mother never came up as a role model for me. So I never saw myself in that shoes at all. I had an auntie who was my role model, the trouser wearing, mini skirt wearing auntie, who I always looked up to, and I wanted to be. I wanted her to be. She was actually my role model. So everything I was doing was, geared towards that line. The moment I gained my freedom and I gained my independence, I did what I wanted and not what my parents literally wanted me to do. But it did not mean that I was lost. It did not mean that I did things right. To the day of that, I got married a virgin. I didn't misbehave. It's just that I did not for once fancy the way my mom looked, and I never wanted to look in that way.
Fantastic.
So that you've invested in your children doesn't mean that because they have chosen a path, then you've totally gone the wrong path.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. So who is kidding who? Who is who? Because, you see, I like the example that Elizabeth just gave. Many of us, we wear this new, I'm now mommy. I am mommy. But these children are growing up into a world where they are seeing so many other options. So one of the objectives of this conversation is to tell our mommies on how can they, what's the word I'm looking for, reinvent themselves such that they can be real role models for these modern children. Because you don't want your child to have a different role model aside from you. I mean, unless you think it's okay to have a different role model. I mean, I'm trying to choose the right words. How does a parent reinvent themselves considering the times?
You know what, Mariah, the thing I see is it's important that we don't get it wrong, because some mothers, yes, are appreciated by maybe other children. Because I remember my own mother was the strict mom, and my mom was a nurse. She had very little means, you know, so there was really little she could do in the way of makeup and dressing, and, you know. But I knew that my mother was a hardworking woman. She was spending all those hours and nights at work just to get me, you know, to get a good education and things like that. Then we had the cool moms that would come to my school. The sort of school that I went to, I had mothers that would come in school. The day she wears red outfit, her car is red. Yeah. The driver is wearing a red tie. Do you understand? They travel and everything. And then they would have parties. They would sing all sorts of songs on radio, the sort of ones that my mother would twist your ears for listening. And they were the cool moms then. And yes, we admired them. But after a while, I got to, you know, when I talk about my mom, I mean, she's my biggest role model. But it took an understanding and a maturity to get to that age. I understood that the reason why my mom is not fly and everything was because she was putting all the resources in making sure that I had an education. She had little, you know, left for anything else. And now that my mom is much older, she's able to express herself more. My daughter is watching her and thinking, my daughter says, I want to be a nurse because of my grandmother. Now she has the time. So sometimes it's not that. And then other times you have the children of those fly mothers looking at you. Who,
and loving you.
Yes, and saying, she's so calm, she's at home, she spends time with her children. She's so loving. You're so lucky to have such a mother. So as long as the mother is doing what is right by God and by herself and by her children, she's hardworking. It doesn't matter how she looks.
I think a few comments. Let me take this call. Yes, I'll let you in a minute. Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please. Ade.
Okay, my name is first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay. Firstly, what I really want to say is that parenting is
are you on speaker? I can't hear you well, sir.
Hardworking. Because I use myself as an example. I was born and brought up without silver spoon. But the time you put on me, made me to show that when I was in school, I had my colleagues, which they come from what's called a rich home. But I don't look at I look at, my own thing has done.
We lost the call. Let's take a comment.
I need to take tubes. So Deborah Okorafor says, I am 23 years old and my sister is 25. Yet my mom still checks what we wear. Wearing of trousers and piercing of our ears is a big sin to her. Ademola Joseph, my opinion on this matter is if you are holy and God-fearing, then marry someone who has the same view just as you do. And if you are worldly, go for your type. Andrew in StarTimes says, well, Ola, if you read the... Oh, sorry. They're talking about the
I just want to go back
Solomon.
to this issue, YK, but I would like us to wrap up. We've talked about two topics today. Let me just wrap up on that one. So if you marry within your type, church to church, let it be church to church. From start of marriage to death do us part.
No, but growth happens now.
So
do not be unequally yoked.
No, we are equally yoked now. We are married a God-fearing man. Yeah. When we now enter the marriage, let us remain God-fearing. Don't change midway and say, my wife doesn't wear beads. My wife doesn't get anything.
Growth happens.
If growth happens, don't let your growth not be to take me into the world. Let your growth be within the Christian space.
You can't guarantee that.
I can't guarantee that. So don't make, if you married me, Sister Mary, I will remain Sister Mary. So don't
you may not. You may change.
And some change.
You see, there's only one constant.
Don't force me to change.
I know. There's one constant in life.
Yes.
And that is change.
Yeah.
So you may change. You may remain Sister Mary.
Yes.
But you may change. The Yenny you see today is not the Yenny of 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I have changed.
Yeah.
And everybody changes.
Yeah.
So you may change. Sister Mary, you may start to wear beads.
Okay,
Sister
so,
Mary...
so just in case Sister Mary changes, the man changes. I mean, because he's been a Christian all his life, he now wants to admire Madonna. Now, me, and I want to remain Sister Mary, should I now stop him from cheating if he wants to cheat on me?
No. I think that at the end of the day, between husband and wife, you know, we've already discussed this topic in different other, on different other platform shows, that when a husband and wife have already married, they must be committed to finding a compromise that works for both parties.
Yes.
So if Oga wants Sister Mary to change to Madonna, Sister Mary will say, I cannot reach Madonna level. Can I just go to, maybe I cannot reach Miley Cyrus, so maybe I will now get to this person, maybe I will get to, can we find a middle ground? But compromise must take place on both sides to make the marriage work.
9 times out of 10, couples grow together. 9 times out of 10, you will see they will both be changing. They will not even realize it's happening. Especially if they are in sync mentally.
So if Sister Mary is becoming Cardi B,
sounding like each other. Even.
If Sister Mary is becoming Cardi B, husband too should begin to start changing. If not, you become Baba in the house. And
what we're saying is that with the couple, when one person is changing, it's likely the other person is also changing alongside, because the influences that is affecting the change is affecting both of you. So she's growing towards Cardi B. Whatever is making her grow towards Cardi B is already influencing you to go towards, what's his name, Quavo? Or what's his name?
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there? Hello, you're live. Hello? Oh, goodness, I really wanted to hear it. Hello, are you there? Okay, so, go ahead. Thanks for calling.
Okay, my name is Bisola.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
I just want to contribute to what you are saying. Like most parents, I guess they are scared or they don't trust their children. Like, I'll use myself for an example. My mom, there are some things she told me not to do, but I really wanted to do, like painting of nails, fixing of eyelashes. I really wanted to do them, but I think she doesn't like it. So because she does not like it, so I should also not do it. And to me, I feel it's bad, like, because you don't like something, that does not mean, do you care about what me I like? And there are some other things like piercing of ears and other things. Then I got married, and I found out that my husband too does not like such things. So, like during my youth time, I didn't really explore, because there are some things I really wanted to do, but because if I do it, my mom does not like it. She's a Christian. She'll be like, if pastor sees you doing this, if pastor see you do that. But now, this pastor she's talking about, the children are now in university doing the same thing. And anytime I see it, I'll be like, oh my God, my own mom did not allow me to do it because of so pastor. But they are doing it. Now I'm married again. My husband will be like, I can't wear short skirts, this and this. So I don't know, it's just like...
Thank you, Bisola. You helped us to...
No, but so the thing is, Bisola would have known. And I knew that I did not do many things as a single girl. And I wanted to do them in marriage. And I had options for marriage. I chose the one that would give me adventure. I chose my husband because I knew he was a vibrant, dancing, grooving, fun-loving person. Like, it was deliberate. And there was another person that I knew was going to put me inside the house. If I was married to that person, I wouldn't be on it. It wouldn't allow me. It would just feel like I should be inside the house. So Bisola should have known the person he was going to marry and let the person know, see you. You might be looking at me like this. I want to do nails, though. I just cannot do it. When I marry, I'll do it. Same question with my husband.
So go ahead.
I was just saying, maybe
So a lot of these men that will say their wife shouldn't do anything, they are girlfriends.
Also for her, she may have, without realizing, she might have just gone for what was familiar to her and comfortable to her.
100%.
She's used to being told not to do things like that, not to wear a certain way, not to look a certain way, and she gravitated towards the person that mirrored what was happening at home. But now that you're married, at least this is where she has found herself. Now have that conversation. Like, bros, I'm a Beyonce inside me. And I would like to come out small. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do everything, but let me try the nails. What color do you like? So let it be part of this metamorphosis that's going to happen. So he likes red, you do that.
Another thing that I've noticed is that we are so covered. Not covered, what's the Weibo word? We're shrouded, you know, that when you leave your parents' house and move straight to your husband's house.
Honestly.
So you don't even have that time to even find yourself.
For many women, not all.
For a lot of women. You leave you go from mommy, daddy, to husband. Straight. You don't live on your own. Yeah. How many women have lived on their own? How many women can, okay, at this table, how many rented their own flats? No, you went to America. And you are living with your brother.
I rented my flat house. I left house, I left. I was my flat.
I left home.
She left home. She went to Lagos. No, but I want to talk about success. Yeah, please, because we were talking about success, and YK was saying that when I say parents be successful, I know a lot of parents that are not, they don't communicate. Success is that you have ambition, you have goals, you go for it, you let your children know that you're doing this, you achieved this, this was my goal, I went for it. I think that we should communicate with children as like a whole human entity and let them understand your struggles when you had them and how you overcame them and the one that you ditched and the one that you now moved on to. So they see the total value proposition that you have.
Let me take this final call. Good morning. Are you there? Hello? Hello? You're there? You're live. Are you there? I think we're having issues there. Okay, so we have to wrap up very soon as we're winding down this conversation. I mean, you know, I just got a light bulb effect a few minutes ago because we're talking about modeling. And it just occurred to me now that growing up as a child, I used to go to Corona Primary School. And my aunt, Mrs. Adeshoko, she's probably watching, she used to come pick up her kids in school. And, you know, she had this corporate look. You know, just very, the kind of look. My mom was a Lagos brand. Like, she had stores in the Akpogbo. She was selling importer, exporter. So she didn't have time to be coming to doing school run. So my aunt was the one doing that school run. But I realized that I almost modeled myself after my aunt, Mrs. Adeshoko, because my mom is a fashionista. She does her nails, her hair, her makeup. She was constantly taking pictures. Photo shoot. My mother was the inventor. Every birthday photo shoot. She was a fashionista. I'm not like that. I just never gravitated towards that because I was looking at the corporate image of my aunt wearing her sketch suit, coming to school, checking our books, making sure that we did our assignments, you know, doing our assignment. You know, that was what I gravitated towards. And she wasn't the makeup person. She wasn't the nail doing. So I think the adult I became modeled her, even as I grew up. So I think also as parents, even though you're not the perfect sister Mary, you're not the perfect person, have people around your children, expose your children to good positive influences around, so that they can have options.
The options will always be good.
Even though, they're good options, but you are, even though you are your sister Mary mommy, you are your mother in Israel, let your daughters or your husband, your sons, have uncles and aunties who have good values, but have different ways of life, so that they can then choose from these good options. So that you don't expose your children to negativity.
I agree.
We have to wrap up. Final comments, anything? We have to run.
I can take tubes. There are a lot of tubes. Godly and sexy is laughing. As long as Good Beat says, as long as you feel good about what you wear, all is well. Corey Williams says, is this the problem of Nigeria? What is this one is lamenting.
Okay, we have to run. Let me get your final. I've made a final comment on the issue of modeling. I'd like you to make final comments on the issue of the pastors versus raising children godly the way, because there are people watching now. What's our summation? What are your final thoughts? What's your advice? Can you raise a godly child to be sexy?
Yes, I think so. And I think it's important that you start small. And so the sexy is not saying, I'm trying to raise you so that you can be appealing to a man right now. It's like, I'm raising you to understand that you're beautiful, how you are, and these are the features, especially for female. You know what I'm doing? I'm talking like I'm talking to a female child, because I want the child to understand that, you know, being sexy is about herself. And when she looks at herself with confidence and carries herself with that way, it comes across as being sexy. I want my child to find her sexiness in her brain, in her intelligence, in her smartness. And I feel that everything else will come. You teach her about exercise and eating well, so she understands her body will look a certain way and look a certain way in clothes. So, you know, but start small and age-appropriate information.
Okay.
Yes, I'll just say that I believe that our journey involves prayers, and that there are things that are beyond your control when it comes to parenting. You can do everything. Pray that where you are not there, the Spirit would be guiding your child wherever your child is. Amen. And you'll be happy at the end.
I just think you should give your child the best foundation that you see fit. I know that that child will grow up to be what he or she wants to be. And you should be at ease, at peace.
I think we can wrap up on that. Thank you. Yes. That's all we can take on the show. I hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.